perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Let's go.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. It sort of goes without saying that's the risk of running the option play. You can put the ball on the ground. They did there and turned it over.
So true, because you've got so many different decisions that have to be made. Are you handing the ball off inside, or are you just keeping it yourself, or you pitch it to your trail guy? And sometimes you get caught in between, and you're a little indecisive on the play, and it turns into the ball on the ground. Fortunately enough, they weren't able to return it for a touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
Keenan Allen checks every box for me as a receiver. Size, speed, strength, intelligence in what he's doing. But I love his competitiveness. When that ball's in the air, he goes after it and usually comes down with it. And last but not least, we can lay to bed the myth that he can't run fast. Keenan Allen can get up and go.
They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on fourth down. On fourth down, Vick. That's into the hands of Edwards. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. On first and 10, here's Vick. Over the middle, complete. It's Edwards. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
We play to win. Let's go.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free. Take it away from the other team.
Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Let's go, B.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Now Allen. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. They'll run for it. This is Allen. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run on first down. Gifford. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And this one complete to Smith. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Go now. 15, line. 15, line. Screen.
On first down, Gifford. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Gifford, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
No problem there on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Gordon. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Here's more on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. And now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. On 2nd down now, it's Allen. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And some room to roam now. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point up and through, and that makes the score 14-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Okay, ready? 60 outlaw. Let's go, D. Ready?
The drive starts with a run by Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
50, plant. 22, I'm trying to collect.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well,
else. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey,
it's a foot race. The 40, 30, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. 78 yards. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-7. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
Know what I would tell them?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Going deep here for Allen. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Allen, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. Fourth down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Vick readies to throw. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On play action, Vick. And caught by Henry. 22 yards there, a first down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A first down throw coming for Vick. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And this one is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So good work there to get points just before the half as they add on to their lead.
As trite as it sounds, every little bit helps. That's exactly what they're going for. Anytime you get a chance to put points on the board, you take it.
And they didn't leave the other side with much time at all on the clock. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. They go play action here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, LA.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
Strong right, strong right.
They'll run on first down. Gifford, he'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. And now they're in the hurry-up. 2nd and 4. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. Nice pickup for a first down.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. So they're on that play offensively. They were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll run on third down with Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. They go right back to the ground here in Brown. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll set up a throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Vick will look to throw on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line, I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Here now, a look at Melvin Gordon. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust? He's got a man, complete, 20, 10, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now Gordon on 1st down. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. Now on 2nd and 13, Vick. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way, because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger 1st. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Now here's Vick. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Edwards. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger 1st down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. It'll be Vick once more. Over the middle, complete. It's Edwards. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just...